me ask you something. Why do some people struggle their entire lives just to get by, while others seem to attract money effortlessly? Is it luck? Is it talent? Is it because they were born into the right family? No, it's because they think differently. The rich don't just have money, they have a mindset that pulls wealth toward them like a magnet. And if you don't have that mindset yet, that's exactly what we're going to rewire today. You see, the way you think about money is either setting you up for abundance or keeping you stuck in scarcity. Most people are walking around with beliefs that are literally blocking wealth from coming into their lives. But the rich, they know the truth. They don't see money as something rare or difficult to get. They don't let fear control them. They've mastered the mental game of wealth. And today I'm going to show you how to do the same. Because here's the reality. The only thing standing between you and financial success is the way you think. And when you start thinking like the rich, when you start shifting those beliefs and training your mind to see opportunities instead of limitations, that's when everything changes. That's when money stops being something you chase and starts being something you naturally attract. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the mental tricks only the rich use. And it all starts with this. They tell themselves there's no shortage of money, even when they don't have enough money is abundant. The wealthy operate with an unshakable belief that money is everywhere. They don't see scarcity, they see opportunity. Even when they don't have enough, they refuse to adopt a mindset of lack. Instead of thinking, I can't afford this, they ask, how can I afford this? This subtle shift changes everything. It forces the brain to seek solutions, to find ways to create more income, and to see wealth as something that is always within reach. Most people are conditioned to believe money is hard to get. They grow up hearing phrases like money doesn't grow on trees or rich people are greedy, and these beliefs stick with them for life. The wealthy reject these ideas completely. They know that money flows where value is created. They don't dwell on how much they don't have. They focus on how to increase what they do have. This mindset keeps them open to new opportunities. Instead of saying there's not enough, they say there's more than enough for everyone. When people believe in scarcity, they make fear-based decisions. They hoard money, avoid investing, and cling to a false sense of security. This kind of thinking limits growth. The wealthy, on the other hand, operate from a mindset of abundance, allowing them to take calculated risks. They understand that money is not a fixed resource. It's constantly being created and exchanged. Someone is always making money, and there's no reason it can't be them. Abundance thinking isn't just about positive affirmations, it's about action. The wealthy educate themselves about money. They learn how to invest, how to make smart financial decisions, and how to turn opportunities into profits. They don't just wait for money to come to them, they go out and create it. Their belief in abundance drives them to build businesses, make strategic investments, and continually seek new ways to generate income. They also surround themselves with people who share this belief. They network with successful individuals, exchange ideas, and learn from others who have mastered wealth creation. Being in an environment where abundance is the norm reinforces their mindset. They don't waste time with people who complain about money or blame external circumstances for their financial struggles. Instead, they focus on solutions and take responsibility for their financial future. Even when the wealthy face setbacks, they don't revert to scarcity thinking. They don't panic when they lose money. They analyze what went wrong and make adjustments. They understand that wealth is not about never experiencing loss. It's about knowing how to recover and grow stronger. Because they believe money is abundant, they remain confident in their ability to rebuild and expand their wealth no matter the situation. This mindset allows them to see money as a tool rather than a source of stress. They use it to create more opportunities, to give back, and to improve their quality of life. They don't view money as something to be feared or worshipped. They see it as something to be managed and multiplied. Their belief in abundance makes financial success not just possible, but inevitable. Money is a game. The wealthy don't look at making money as a chore or a burden. They see it as a game, and like any game, they play to win. This shift in perspective changes everything. When money is seen as a game, it becomes exciting, engaging, and even fun. Instead of feeling stressed or overwhelmed by financial challenges, they approach them with curiosity and strategy. Every financial move is a play, every setback is a learning opportunity, and every win is a step closer to Most people approach money with fear and hesitation. They see it as something complicated, risky, or even intimidating. The wealthy, however, see it as something to be mastered. They love the challenge of figuring out how to make money, how to grow it, and how to use it wisely. They understand that, like any game, wealth building requires skill, patience, and practice. They're willing to study the rules, learn from experts, and refine their strategies over time. Games have winners and losers, and the wealthy understand that to win, they have to think differently. They don't play the game of money emotionally, they play it strategically. They understand risk, they calculate their moves, and they never let fear dictate their actions. They make decisions based on logic, data, and long-term vision, not based on panic or short-term gratification. One of the most important aspects of treating money as a game is staying in control. When people let money control them, they become slaves to it. They stress about every financial decision. They live paycheck to paycheck, and they never feel like they have enough. The wealthy flip this dynamic. They control money. It doesn't control them. They set clear financial goals, they track their progress, and they make adjustments along the way, just like a gamer refining their strategy to beat the next level. They also understand the importance of leverage in the game of money. Just like in a game where you unlock better tools and resources as you progress, the wealthy know how to use leverage, whether through investments, partnerships, or business strategies, to maximize their returns. They don't just rely on their own efforts. They make money work for them. Failure is an inevitable part of any game, and the wealthy embrace it. They don't see losses as failures, they see them as lessons. They analyze what went wrong, adjust their approach, and come back stronger. Every successful entrepreneur and investor has faced losses, but what sets them apart is their ability to keep playing the game despite setbacks. They know that persistence and adaptability are key to long-term success. Another crucial aspect of treating money as a game is the importance of continuous learning. Just as athletes train and strategize, and gamers study their craft, the wealthy are always learning. They read books, take courses, study market trends, and surround themselves with people who can help them improve. They never assume they know it all. Instead, they stay curious, adaptable, and open to new ideas. Passion and enthusiasm also play a role. The wealthiest people in the world aren't just in it for the money. They genuinely enjoy the process of making it. They love the challenge, the strategy, and the thrill of winning. They find ways to make the game work for them by choosing careers, businesses, and investments they are excited about. When you love the game you're playing, success comes more naturally. Another element that makes this mindset powerful is that it removes the pressure and negativity around money. When people see money as a struggle, they feel weighed down by financial decisions. They become afraid to take risks or make big moves. But when money is a game, they approach it with energy, excitement, and confidence. They focus on improving their skills, making smart plays, and staying persistent. They also recognize that in every game there are different levels. The wealthy don't compare themselves to others or feel discouraged by someone else's success. Instead, they focus on leveling up their own game. They celebrate progress, no matter how small, and stay committed to continuous improvement. By treating money as a game, the wealthy develop resilience, creativity, and a fearless attitude toward wealth building. They take joy in the process rather than just the outcome. They understand that the more they play, the better they get. They know that financial success is not a matter of luck. It's a skill, a strategy, and a mindset that can be developed and mastered. Set unreasonable expectation. The wealthy do not think in terms of what is realistic or attainable by conventional standards. They set goals that seem almost impossible, goals so big that they force growth and expansion. When most people aim for just enough to get by, the wealthy set their sights on creating massive wealth, not just earning a comfortable living. They don't settle for small wins. They go for the extraordinary. This mentality pushes them to stretch beyond their perceived limits and constantly elevate their potential. By setting unreasonable expectations, they create a mindset that demands innovation, discipline, and relentless pursuit. When a person sets a goal that seems out of reach, their mind starts searching for ways to make it possible. It forces creative problem solving, strategic thinking, and a refusal to accept mediocrity. Most people set safe, easy-to-reach goals because they fear failure. The wealthy embrace the possibility of failure because they know that even if they don't hit their massive goal, they will still be far ahead of where they would have been with a smaller one. They also understand that the higher they aim, the more opportunities they attract. When someone sets a small goal, they only open themselves up to small results. But when they demand something big from life, life responds in kind. Their expectations shape their actions shape their results, and their results shape their reality. The wealthy do not limit themselves by conventional thinking. They push boundaries and redefine what is possible. This mindset applies to every area of their financial lives. If they are starting a business, they don't aim to make a few $1,000s. They aim to dominate the market. If they are investing, they don't settle for average returns. They look for ways to multiply their wealth exponentially. This kind of thinking creates a hunger for excellence and a commitment to learning and adapting. When people set small goals, they don't push themselves to grow. They stay within their comfort zones, avoiding risks and challenges. But the wealthy understand that comfort is the enemy of progress. By setting expectations that seem unreasonable to the average person, they force themselves to develop new skills, build better networks, and take calculated risks that lead to extraordinary rewards. This kind of thinking also helps them overcome obstacles. When the average person faces difficulties, they see them as signs to stop. When the wealthy face challenges, they see them as part of the process. Because their expectations are set so high, they are mentally prepared to deal with setbacks. They don't get discouraged when things don't go as planned. They adapt, adjust, and keep moving forward. Another key aspect of this mentality is that it attracts the right kind of people. When someone thinks big, they attract other big thinkers. They surround themselves with individuals who challenge them, push them, and help them grow. The average person surrounds themselves with people who reinforce limitations, who play it safe, who never take big risks. The wealthy deliberately place themselves in environments where ambition and high expectations are the norm. By setting unreasonable expectations, they force themselves to think beyond their current circumstances. They don't accept their present reality as a fixed state. Instead, they see it as a starting point. They condition their minds to believe that anything is possible with the right strategy, effort, and persistence. This mindset doesn't just apply to financial goals. It influences every aspect of their lives. Whether it's health, relationships, or personal development, they expect greatness. They don't settle for an average life because they know they are capable of more. They live with an unshakable belief that extraordinary results require extraordinary expectations. Block out fear. The wealthy understand that fear is the number one factor that holds people back. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of making the wrong decision. These fears keep most people trapped in mediocrity. The rich have trained themselves to block out fear, to take action despite uncertainty, and to trust in their ability to navigate challenges. They recognize that fear is nothing more than a mental construct, an illusion that keeps people from taking the necessary steps toward wealth and success. Most people let fear dictate their choices. They avoid risks because they fear losing money. They hesitate to start businesses because they fear failure. They stay in jobs they hate because they fear the unknown. The wealthy operate differently. They understand that fear is just a signal, not a stop sign. It's a natural response to the unfamiliar, but it does not have to control their actions. Instead of avoiding fear, they lean into it. They see it as proof that they are moving in the right direction, stepping outside their comfort zones, and doing something meaningful. They also recognize that fear is often exaggerated. Most of the things people worry about never actually happen. The mind creates worst-case scenarios that are far worse than reality. The wealthy train themselves to recognize when fear is irrational and replace it with logic and action. They don't wait until they feel confident to take action. They take action first, and confidence follows. Blocking out fear does not mean being reckless. It means understanding the difference between real risks and imagined risks. The wealthy assess risk carefully, make calculated decisions, and move forward despite uncertainty. They don't let fear paralyze them into inaction. They understand that failure is not something to be afraid of, it's something to learn from. Every failure is a lesson, a stepping stone to greater success. They also reframe failure in their minds. While most people see failure as a personal reflection of their worth, the wealthy see it as part of the process. They know that no one succeeds without setbacks. Every successful entrepreneur, investor, and business leader has faced failures along the way. The difference is that they didn't let those failures stop them. They used them as feedback, adjusted their approach, and kept moving forward. Another reason they can block out fear is that they don't seek external validation. Most people are afraid to take risks because they worry about what others will think. They fear judgment, criticism, and looking foolish. The wealthy don't concern themselves with the opinions of people who are not where they want to be. They understand that most people who criticize are simply projecting their own fears and limitations. Instead of letting fear of judgment stop them, they focus on their vision and execute their plans. They also use fear as a motivator. Instead of fearing failure, they fear stagnation. Instead of fearing rejection, they fear regret. They shift their perspective so that not taking action becomes scarier than any potential failure. This mindset keeps them moving forward, even when things are uncertain. One of the most powerful ways they block out fear is by focusing on what they can control. Most fear comes from uncertainty. People worry about what might happen, what others might do, or how the economy might change. The wealthy train themselves to focus only on what is within their control. They can't control the market, but they can control their investments. They can't control the economy, but they can control their financial decision. By keeping their attention on what they can influence, they prevent fear from taking over their minds. They also condition themselves to take fast action. Fear grows when people hesitate. The longer someone waits to make a decision, the more doubt creeps in. The wealthy develop a habit of quick decision-making. They gather the necessary information, make a decision, and move forward. If they make a mistake, they adjust. They don't waste time overanalyzing or second-guessing. They practice mental discipline. They don't let negative thoughts dominate their minds. They use visualization, affirmations, and strong self-talk to reinforce courage and resilience. They train themselves to think in terms of possibilities rather than obstacles. This mindset allows them to take bold actions that others would shy away from. Their ability to block out fear is one of the key reasons they achieve massive success. Fear stops most people before they even start. The wealthy have mastered the art of feeling fear but not letting it control them. Personify money and see it as a friend. The wealthy do not see money as something distant, difficult, or unattainable. They do not believe that money is hard to get, nor do they see it as something that controls them. Instead, they develop a positive relationship with money, treating it as if it were a trusted friend rather than a source of stress or fear. This mindset shift changes the way they interact with wealth, allowing them to attract more of it rather than push it away. Most people have been conditioned to see money as something elusive. They grow up hearing phrases like money is the root of all evil or rich people are greedy, and over time these beliefs create a negative association with wealth. If someone sees money as something bad or corrupting, they will subconsciously repel it. They may even sabotage their own financial success because deep down they feel guilty about making more money or believe that having too much will change them for the worse. The wealthy reject this kind of thinking entirely. They understand that money is simply a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad, depending on the person using it. By personifying money as a friend, they make it easier to invite more of it into their lives. If someone thinks of money as an enemy, they will avoid dealing with it, neglect their finances, and make poor decisions that keep them in a state of lack. But if they treat money like a trusted ally, they will nurture it, take care of it, and use it wisely. They develop respect for money rather than fear or resentment. They see it as something that works for them, something that helps them achieve their goals and create a better life. The wealthy also speak about money in positive terms. They do not say things like, I'm broke, or I'll never have enough. They choose words carefully because they understand that language shapes beliefs, and beliefs shape reality. Instead of focusing on lack, they focus on growth. Instead of saying, I can't afford it, they ask, how can I afford it? This subtle shift in language rewires the brain to seek solutions rather than dwell on limitation. They also make money feel welcome in their lives by treating it well. Just as a good friend is treated with care and respect, they manage their finances responsibly. They track their income, invest wisely, and ensure their money is being used in ways that align with their goals. They do not waste money carelessly, nor do they hoard it out of fear. They create a balanced relationship, one where money flows in and out freely, working for them rather than controlling them. This perspective also changes the way they handle financial challenges. Instead of panicking when unexpected expenses arise, they remain calm and trust that money will continue to flow into their lives. They do not see financial setbacks as disasters. They see them as temporary situations that can be overcome. Because they have a positive relationship with money, they remain confident in their ability to generate more, no matter what happens. They also teach this mindset to their children, ensuring that the next generation grows up with a healthy view of wealth. Instead of passing down limiting beliefs about money, they pass down the understanding that money is a resource to be respected and managed wisely. They instill the belief that money is abundant and that anyone can create wealth with the right mindset and actions. By treating money as a friend rather than an enemy, they remove the fear and stress that so many people associate with finances. They create an open and inviting relationship with wealth, making it easier for them to attract, grow, and maintain their financial success. Getting rich is natural. The wealthy do not see becoming rich as something extraordinary or rare. They do not believe that wealth is reserved for a select few or that making money is some impossible challenge. Instead, they see financial success as a natural part of life, something that happens as a result of the right actions and mindset. This belief allows them to pursue wealth with confidence, knowing that it is not only possible but inevitable if they follow the right path. Most people believe that getting rich requires extreme luck, a special talent, or connections that they do not have. They think of wealth as something distant, something that only happens to others. Because of this belief, they never take the actions necessary to create real financial success. They assume the odds are stacked against them, so they do not even try. The wealthy reject this way of thinking completely. They understand that money is available to anyone who is willing to learn, adapt, and take the right steps. This belief affects the way they approach opportunities. While others hesitate, doubt themselves, or wait for the perfect moment, the wealthy take action. They do not sit around hoping for a lucky break. They create their own luck through effort and strategy. Because they believe that making money is natural, they expect success, and this expectation drives them to keep pushing forward even when challenges arise. They also understand that money flows to those who provide value. They do not see wealth as something that is unfairly distributed or controlled by an elite few. They recognize that money follows value, and anyone who can solve problems, meet needs, or create something useful can attract wealth. Instead of complaining about the economy, the job market, or external circumstances, they focus on increasing their own value. They develop skills, build businesses, and find ways to contribute, knowing that financial rewards will naturally follow. Another important aspect of this mindset is that it removes guilt and hesitation around making money. Many people struggle with the idea of wealth because they have been conditioned to believe that making money is selfish or greedy. The wealthy do not carry this baggage. They understand that financial success allows them to live better lives, help others, and contribute to causes they care about. They see wealth as a tool for good rather than something to be ashamed of. This belief also changes the way they interact with other successful people. Instead of feeling intimidated or envious of the rich, they see them as proof that wealth is attainable. They learn from those who've achieved financial success, study their habits, and apply similar strategies in their own lives. They surround themselves with people who reinforce the belief that getting rich is normal, making it even easier to adopt the same mindset. Because they see wealth as something natural, they do not waste time making excuses or dwelling on past failures. They focus on what they can do right now to move forward. They take consistent action, knowing that every step brings them closer to their goals. They trust in the process and remain patient, understanding that financial success is built over time through smart decisions and persistence. They also maintain a sense of certainty about their financial future. While most people worry about money and doubt their ability to create wealth, the wealthy operate with the belief that they will always have more than enough. This certainty influences their decisions, allowing them to take bold actions without fear. They do not play small or hesitate to invest in themselves because they know that getting rich is simply a matter of following the right principles and staying committed to the journey. They tell themselves they deserve to be rich. The wealthy operate with an unshakable belief that they deserve financial success. They do not question whether they are worthy of wealth, nor do they feel guilty for wanting more. They have conditioned their minds to accept abundance as their natural state, rejecting the limiting beliefs that keep most people trapped in financial struggle. While the average person hesitates, wondering if they are asking for too much, the wealthy move forward with certainty, knowing that money flows to those who believe they are worthy of receiving it. Most people grow up with subconscious programming that tells them wealth is only for a select few. They have been taught that success must be earned through extreme hardship, that making too much money is selfish, or that financial freedom is something out of reach. These beliefs create invisible barriers that prevent them from taking the necessary steps toward wealth. The wealthy have removed these mental roadblocks. They do not view money as something they must desperately chase or prove themselves worthy of. They see it as something they naturally attract by creating value and making smart decisions. This belief affects the way they take risks and seize opportunities. When someone doubts whether they deserve success, they hesitate. They second-guess themselves, procrastinate, and let fear hold them back. The wealthy operate differently. They act with confidence, knowing that they belong in the world of abundance. They expect to win, and this expectation shapes their results. When they make financial decisions, they do not operate from a place of scarcity or insecurity. They negotiate deals with authority, invest with certainty, and trust in their ability to create wealth rather than hoping for luck or outside validation. They also refuse to apologize for their success. Many people, even when they start making more money, feel guilty about having more than others. They downplay their achievements, fearing judgment or criticism. The wealthy do not let external opinions dictate their mindset. They understand that wealth is not a limited resource and that their success does not take away from anyone else. Instead of feeling guilty for earning more, they use their financial freedom to expand their impact, help others, and create even more opportunities. This belief also fuels their work ethic. Because they know they deserve to be rich, they take full ownership of their financial future. They do not wait for permission, nor do they rely on luck or circumstances to determine their wealth. They actively seek out ways to grow, improve, and increase their value. They do not shy away from responsibility because they know that taking control is the fastest path to financial success. They also reinforce this mindset through their daily habits. They surround themselves with people who think the same way, consume content that strengthens their belief in abundance, and avoid negativity that promotes scarcity thinking. They condition their minds to expect success, and over time, this expectation turns into reality. By now you understand the truth. Wealth isn't just about numbers in your bank account, it's about the way you think. The rich don't wait for permission, they don't let fear hold them back, and they don't sabotage their own success with limiting beliefs. They expect to win. They see money as a friend. They make success feel natural, and most importantly, they believe they deserve to be rich. And that's where you come in. You now have the same knowledge that the wealthy have been using for years, but knowledge alone isn't enough. You have to apply it. Start thinking differently. Start training your mind to expect abundance and start making the moves that will take you where you want to go. Because the truth is, the moment you shift your mindset, you shift your reality. Now, if you got value from this, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more life-changing content right here on Tony Robbins Track. And remember, success is not reserved for the lucky. It's built by those who decide to claim it. So go out there and claim yours.